ghouls and goblins, and welcome to another spine-tingling episode of Blood from a Stone, A Tale of Love and Dread in RPG, here on Night 2 of the Week of Blood. Ooh, Week of Blood. Ooh. Hi, everyone. My name is Philip. I'm the Dreadmaster for this, our 68th chapter of Blood from a Stone. Ooh. We're doing Voluptua tomorrow, yes. We're doing the Skinamax one tomorrow, don't you worry. Welcome, everyone. And also joining me tonight are our players. Say, magic is scary, players.
Magic is scary.
Players.
There we go. Welcome, everyone. As is kind of happening all week, if there's anyone who's just randomly here, this is our second of 7 consecutive nights of this game, where I'm doing 7 different sort of, kind of in this mosaic story of Blood from a Stone, just a peek at 7 different domains, including some we visited before and some that we are seeing for the first time, although this domain, like the one last night, features, it was home to a character who we have seen once in our game before. This is a domain called Aracanabane, home to the Orphans of the Eldritch, creepy children who wear masks, all of whom were presumably sort of scarred and injured by magic and left alone, and they serve the purpose of defending the realm against magic in the hope that they may one day grow up for various purposes. We're going to be running the 2d20 Mophidius. God, that company has the hardest. Their name is a disaster. I like their stuff.
You made that.
Mophidius, the one that made Vampire.
I don't think they made it, but they have it now. Vampire the Masquerade.
Yeah, they have. Yeah. They've acquired it. Yeah.
But is it Mophidius or Mophidius because they have an umlaut? Also, or is it Modifius, or is it Mophidius, or is it Modifius? I hear them all because it was a Wizards of the Coast, you just say it. Anyway,
well, people say Watsy, so just call them Mo. Very good.
That's fair.
Mopeds.
That's a clean argument. So we'll be using the 2d20 system that, if you've seen any of our Star Trek games, it is familiar to you, but it won't be familiar to 2 of our players who are playing it for the first time, and the other who's played it one time before in a half-real spotlight game several weeks ago. So we'll be kind of getting into that. The basic mechanic of it is you are playing, you're rolling d20s, and you're trying to roll under varying target scores based on a combination of other stats. It's a very clever little system. Before we get into invocations and such things, I am, however, going to open. Now we're caught up on the Witch's Brew Adventure calendar. So here on the 26th, today is the 26th, is that correct?
Today is the 26th.
Well,
there are advent calendars for non-advent.
It's adventure calendar. What do we got in there? Ooh, a D6. Who doesn't love a giant, oversized, chunky D6? This one features the beautiful... Oh, snap! Guys, this one's exciting. Hold on, I gotta check it out. So this one features the bubbling cauldron.
Ooh.
But...
Hey, it's a creeper.
That's a 1 bubbling cauldron. And that's a 2. And that's
Oh, that's a nightmare.
So in other words, you have to count bubbles. 3, 1, 2, 3, 4... Ooh, man, yeah, 6 there, you're like, come on. Is this a 6 or a 5? Where's the 5? Yeah, 5 is that, yeah. Honestly, I think if you look at it, you'll know how many there are. But I really do like when they are all image rather than, I showed this off last night and Pierce was here when I got it, but the other thing that I think is such a cool idea is the phases of the moon D8.
It looks like a cheese.
It does look like a cheese.
A negative cheese.
Indeed. So
like cheese.
That was in here as well, but that's really
It's
cool.
a cool idea, but
No, this is like somebody says, how much moonlight do we have? And I go, well,
oh, okay. Yeah, exactly.
That much.
Yeah, because they've also made one for
one.
you. they've also made ones where like weather and like direction now, right? You've also
Weather
got
dice.
I don't know that
determine
I've
that.
seen a weather one from them. I'm sure they would make one.
Always dark and stormy.
There's a cardinal direction one, which is very fun. So yeah, so fun dice here. Thanks to, once again, a big shout out to Black Oak Workshop for letting me purchase their products from them. So that is that little thing we're doing in Halloween week. Next up, Halloween candy time. Tonight we have a Reese's peanut butter bat.
Oh, I just apparently have some Reese's Pieces in my pocket, so I'll join you.
But are they shaped like a bat, or are they shaped like a
No,
pumpkin?
sorry. No, I mean they're just Reese's Pieces, so.
They're fairly Halloween-like because of that scene from that movie, It. Which I think is a prequel to It.
Yes.
Yeah,
And
exactly
so
what I was
in
gonna
It,
say.
that's one of the things he eats.
Right. And then the sequel to It is Pie, right?
There was actually a sequel to it. What's his name? Guy
Oh,
who
It Follows?
always gets naked.
God,
Yeah.
Michael, wait, there's a sequel to It
What?
with a guy who gets naked?
That actor was his Michael Ewan McGregor, who always gets naked. In
Wait.
every movie he is in, there's a scene when he's butt naked.
That's The
Which
Shining.
it are we talking about?
That's Dr.
Oh,
Sleep's sequel to
Shining! Yes,
Yeah.
you're right. That's The Shining.
I was
Which
going.
it are we
there was
talking
a-
about?
There was a TV movie about for an It sequel when they're all adults and go back.
There is, but then they made another double
Oh.
adaptation of two movies.
Right, the sequel isn't It Follows?
The better title for the sequel. So yeah. To recap, if you were looking for the storyline, it goes It Follows.
And then there's them, of course.
And then they, right?
Then They Live. Then Live Free or Die Hard, and then finally Die Hard.
Yes, it just ends up in Die Hard. Everything leads to Die Hard.
Oh my god.
Blow hard.
That seems correct to me.
Oh,
I went to
boy.
film school. I have $80,000 of student loan debt to say that that is correct.
Hey. Oh, you beat mine.
That's everything about what's happening right now is actually a bummer. I'm gonna do a pre-game plug. I will mention that as a film buff myself, On Cinema at the Cinema is back. For those of you who watch On Cinema, but it's in an altered form. It is now On Cinema and More in the morning. It's a morning show, and film buffs like me are pretty upset about it because they're not focused enough on the movies. They're talking about other things like TV and documentaries.
Rude.
Yeah.
Never change the
I
format.
like documentaries.
I mean, to
Speaking
be
of
fair,
never
how many
changing the
movies come
format.
out?
Before I read, I have some, I have the invocation for tonight, of course. However, before I read the invocation for tonight, I am going to, as I often do, the second week of a new screen. So Blood Week, rather than having screens up for each individual domain because I was lazy, we have one for all of Blood Week that sort of unites them, kind of as a sort of a separating them as their sort of own thing. And because of that, there is a special benediction that we first saw after our previous session. So I'm going to read that benediction quickly. Among the bonny winding banks, where Dune rins Wimplin clear, where Brusance ruled the martial ranks and shook his Carrick spear, some merry friendly country folks together did convene to burn their knits and pow their stocks and howd their Halloween full blithe that night. Okay. Curious, what could that mean? It's a poem about Halloween. It's Halloween, so calm down, everybody. Not a big deal. But with all of that, these little bits and pieces of things out of the way, we're going to turn our attention for night 2 of the Week of Blood to a place called Aracanabane, where none may practice magic, to the Orphans of the Eldritch. And I will read an invocation for chapter 68 of Blood from a Stone. The other thing about magic, buddy, is that the people who use it, they just suck. So bad, man, they suck big time, just the worst. You guys don't even get it. Some of the things I've seen these dum-dums do, especially one of them, this chowderhead with his stupid cap and stupid smug grin, just thinks he knows everything, but buddy, he's got another think and another thing coming, let me tell you. All right.
I think that's my favorite invocation you've ever done.
Well,
I wonder what movie quote you changed.
Well, they're the invocations are taken from sort of certain source materials. So that was taken for the source material of this domain. That is all I'll say.
Mm.
Oh, I know.
So we end up in
I know
an
exactly.
office building.
Okay, I know exactly where that came from now. Okay.
Not hard.
Tell me.
Um,
Tell me in chat.
on the edge of the land called Aracanabane, where Princess Batara's lands border the forests of death, there is one brave outpost, staffed by the Orphans of the Eldritch, to keep a watch on those magical things that dwell within that area unaffected by the princess's protection and wards. Oystercatcher Outpost is the name of this small fort. It is not particularly well staffed by the orphans, and those there have little hope of returning, for it is the most dangerous. It is less a defense and more a first point of contact. If the dark, magical things in this land ever decide to rush forward and try to destroy what little peace the great princess's powers have granted to those who live there. However, once a year, there comes a time when ancient pacts of that most accursed magic still take hold, and old rites, their origins long forgotten, must be acknowledged and performed. There's a rite that during the week of blood, the dark things from the forest of death will stalk their way into the world of those who live true and without magic, and will come begging, no, demanding, that those who live free and true give them something more precious than they ever get to enjoy in their own lives. Three such orphans of the Eldritch make preparations for this most unholy and unwelcome rite. They are Lucky, Danvers, and Cotton. I'd like you all to introduce yourselves. You can tell us how old you are, you can tell us what kind of mask you have on, and if you'd like to, you could tell us some of your focuses, just so we understand some of the things that you know about, that you get up to, some of the things you excel at in your duties, protecting the realm from these horrible things in the darkness. Let's start with Cotton.
Oh, yeah, sure. I'm Cotton. I'm 11 years old, and I wear a skull mask. It's a real skull. Killed it myself. And my focuses are telling stories, famous heroes of Aracanabane, juggling, and of course, crossbows. I guess that's sort of me for now. I mean, Unless you want to hear about the story about how I got the skull. Real bloody.
Did you get it from a head?
Yeah. Yeah, actually it came from my head. It's a real smart one, Lucky. But it was real hard to like. I had to shoot him right in the eye with the crossbow, so I didn't damage the skull. Since I want to make a mask anyway.
Next up, let's hear from Lucky.
I'm Lucky. I'm approaching my middle age of 10 years old. I assume people just die once they reach 20. My skills are sneaking, acrobatics, unarmed combat, and cheating. I mean, fairly winning at poker, of course. And I am the scout of the group, so I make sure the danger that's coming is over there and I'm not in its way.
And did you say what your mask is?
My mask is apparently black lacquered with black embossed pattern.
So yes,
What the pattern is, I do not know.
Lucky, and sort of, I assume that Lucky as a scout is always wearing a black hood, so even your mask, aside from like a couple of little face holes, is just,
Sure.
just fade fully into the dark.
Mhm.
Finally, Danvers.
Hello, I'm Danvers. I know things because I'm a historian. And my mask is a purple wood, and I revere the sacred bikini girls.
Sacred bikini girls, indeed. Speaking of which, we will actually begin today's game, sort of, with some of you on watch, but you do hear several of the orphans here in this encampment of Oystercatcher Outpost, sort of speaking the words of the Orphans' Creed. You hear them, and you may join them if you'd like, or you can sort of go about your own duties solemnly. But you do hear from kind of like around the outpost, their voices speaking as one. Magic is scary. Magic is bad.
It's bad.
Magic killed
Magic
Mom.
killed Mom.
Magic killed
Magic
Dad.
killed Dad.
We pray we may
Pray
live
we may live
in a world without
in a world
fear,
without fear.
where we smoke
Where
big
we smoke
cigars
big cigars.
and drink lots of
Drink
beer.
lots of beer.
When magic is
When
gone
magic is gone.
and the wizards
And
are
the
dead,
wizards are dead.
may the sacred
And the
bikini
sacred
girls
bikini girls put us to bed.
Put us to bed.
Amen.
You know, I met a sacred bikini girl once.
Did you?
Yeah, her name was Boderick.
Are you sure she was sacred?
Seemed pretty sacred to me. It was like glowing and glistening.
Oh, you are a lucky one.
No, I'm the lucky one.
That's true. That is.
No, you are just called lucky.
Danvers, as he says this is what we call, so to start things off, because right now you guys have no momentum, so we do like you to get some momentum. Danvers, I would like for you, oh boy, you're the wrong person. Well, actually, Lucky, you're there too, so I'm gonna let you make this as well, because maybe you're, a little. I'd like both Danvers and Lucky to please roll me an insight and lore roll. So you are rolling 2 d20s, you are trying to roll under your score for insight and lore combined. For Danvers, that's an 11. For Lucky, that is also an 11.
Yes.
So roll 2 d20s and tell me what you roll.
I rolled a 4 and a 15.
4 and a 15. The 4 counts as a success, so we're going to put that into the pool. What did you roll, Lucky? Ka, you're lucky.
Oh, me. 1 and 9.
1 and 9.
Hey, do I get an aha point? No. that's
Don't
not
get an
system.
aha point, but a 1 and a 9. Well,
You
you
are
needed
lucky.
an 11, so that means you add a second for the 9, but the 1
Hooray.
is 2 points of momentum, so you guys are pretty flush with a 4. You also, whatever Cotton is talking about, you, with these rolls for your sort of insight and your knowledge of things, you strongly doubt that Cotton has ever met a bikini girl because they're all dead, as far as you know. But Cotton is a storyteller.
It's
So
He's a
sometimes
liar.
you let him
All
lie
storytellers are liars.
because the lies are sometimes.
I like to think
Nice.
of it telling the truth through a different lens.
Are we doing that?
Alternative truth.
Oh no! Oh
These are just
no!
alternative facts. In any case, but hey, well, in any event, you're pretty well stocked on aha points.
You know what?
Or on a,
I don't think that those instances with magic ever happened. Couldn't have happened. No. We're not doing that.
you kind of another one of the orphans. She sort of peeks her head around. She has a hawk mask. Her name is Abigail. And you hear her, and she says, "It's arrived.
Already?
If you
What
wanna,
has?
If you want to come see the shipment, the princess has sent it to us."
Fantastic. Let's go.
Yeah,
As
let's
you
go check
all
it out.
Let's
walk
go.
downstairs, you see that there is a treasure chest. Several
Am I
of these
imagining the
orphans
same
here.
type of treasure chest like in the video games?
Not dissimilar. Yes, wood slats, metal, binding bars around the sides, clasp hinges, standard rounded top for sure. As you see this treasure chest, you notice that the rest of the orphans have all gathered. To sort of see what is here. I would say that Danvers and Cotton, you both have lore of 3 or higher, right?
Yeah, I believe so.
And so I would say that Danvers more so than Cotton. Danvers, you have you understand what is in this box. Cotton, you have a decent glimmer of understanding. Lucky, you're not really sure. But as Abigail sort of brings you in, you see some of the other orphans are kind of like standing at it and kind of arguing about should we open it now or only when they come. One says no, we should open it now just to look at it a little bit. And they look sort of to Abigail and she nods and she kind of actually she'll look to you all to sort of see if you agree.
I'm already there with with my knife.
You've got the
opening it
crowbar
up.
out like yeah, let's check it out.
Yeah.
It's not a mimic, I hope.
It does not appear to be a mimic in fact, Lucky, if you're going to open it, Lucky, let's have you roll. The difficulty for this will be 1. So let's have you roll, we'll just say this.
The lockpick.
This is gonna be I'll let you use agility and, I'll let you use subtlety because you're kind of trying to like open it up thing. So roll a 13 or lower on either of 2 dice.
And with a difficulty of 1 means...
Difficulty 1, you only need 1 success to succeed. So as long as 1...
11 and 15, so 1 success.
1 success. So, it's actually a little hard and you're kind of like jostling and someone's like, the key doesn't work and they're like, yeah, we don't think that... But you manage to break it open and you pull it back, and within this treasure chest is a substance that all of you have heard about only in rumor or stories. Can any of you as players guess what's in here?
Moonshine.
Candy?
Candy, that's correct.
Ah.
Confections. They have made candy. The princess's sort of, kind of her courtly alchemists and things have put together the arts of making candy, and there is a box full of sweets, treats. Not only candy as well, there are also other little fun objects, small toys, even a few sort of like meat pies that have been wrapped up.
Hope one of the bozos didn't put an apple in there, thinking we'd enjoy that sort of thing.
Tell you what, make a
Or carrot sticks?
Celery.
make
box
Lucky,
of raisins.
Lucky, make an insight survival roll. That's a 12.
All right. Insight
Get
survival.
over.
10 and 7.
8 and 7.
10 and 7.
10 and 7.
Both success?
Those are both successes, so you have a choice right now for this roll. The difficulty of that was only 1. You can put 1 into here, or you can do what's called a momentum spend, and you can immediately spend that point to sort of get some more information about this situation here. to sort of learn more. Because right now you know that there's no apples. But if you kind of want to have further insight into what's going on in the process, you can get that by spending this
Sure,
right now.
let's get some world building in here.
World building,
What is
right,
going
so we
on
won't
here?
add that. Instead, as you look through kind of, as luck would have it, one time you were playing poker with some other kids and you overheard some things. So it's all kind of coming back to you. This rite of the Week of Blood involves giving precious things as tribute to these dark forces. Basically, it's some deal that predates Princess Batara, and despite her sort of attempts to rid all magic from the world, certain things were sort of so old and baked in and not explicitly magical that the decision was made by her counselors that these traditions must be upheld. This is one of them. So, you know that there would not be neither apple nor raisin, nor toothbrush nor penny. Actually, maybe pennies at this time. Pennies didn't always used to be the worst thing to get at Halloween. But the point is, this is only premium candy, the likes of which none of you have ever tasted. It looks deeply delicious.
And it's not for us.
But it is not for you. It is for, as Lucky could tell you, your most hated enemies. The dark magical things of the Forest of Death.
Now, will they know if we're missing, like, say, one little... What is this? This premium candy. This is...
Abigail says, "Don't do it, Lucky. The princess's orders are clear."
Right. I didn't vote for the princess, though.
As you toss it back on. I didn't vote for the princess. Nailed it. So, that being said, so Lucky, you toss it down. Anybody else doing anything? You are all sort of like, Abigail sort of stands there, and several of the orphans kind of just come up and look. A couple even tilt up masks, revealing sort of scarred bottom halves of their faces as they take a sniff and then walk back.
I'd like to go up and grab maybe some of the bigger candies and just heft them a little bit. Maybe do a little juggling.
Okay. Well, if you're doing
This can
juggling,
only end well.
this, well, it is, on the one hand, this is something you're good at. On the other hand, it's Pierce. So Pierce, you get to use your juggling. I will say that this is artistry and daring. So it's a 14, but because it is juggling, this is a focus, so anything under a 4 counts as 2.
Okay.
Successes. So roll 2 d20s. You're looking for under 14, or an under 4 gets you 2.
3 nat 20s. We're doing it.
16 and 8. So one success.
1 success. So Cotton does a sort of decent job kind of juggling some of the heavier pieces. Some of the other kids just sort of like a couple, we'll say Ambrose, who we may meet if any of you die soon. Ambrose in the back just goes, walks out wishing he could stab something. But Cotton, you sort of juggle some of them, and they feel sort of fun in your hand. But after a while, you can feel Abigail just kind of glaring from under her mask, and so you.
I'm back
Do
in.
we need to take this candy to the forest?
Ah, Danvers, an excellent question for you to ask. You are sort of the historian, the lore master, as it were. So I'm going to say that question can be answered by a reason plus lore. But this is not a magical practice, so there's no focus for you. But so it's a 15. So roll 2 d20s. You got to roll 15 or lower on them.
I rolled a 12 and a 16.
12 and a 16. That is 1 success. So with 1 success, you don't now. Because you have this ability, if you want to, you could spend one of your momentum, and you could ask me not 1 but 2 questions thanks to your studious talent. Or you can just know the basic thing you're trying to recall.
I don't know what else I would be asking, so...
No, the tradition is that these monsters are going to come to your door. And they're going to knock. Or ring a bell.
Three times? Knock 3 times?
They knock varying different things. Some of them have limbs that make it hard for them to knock. The point is they are going to come to your door, they're going to knock or ring the bell, and you are to give them the candy when they do so.
I just look around in the crowd if I can spot a kid in a wolf mask.
I think there is a kid in a wolf mask
Silas.
from your... Yeah.
Hey, Silas, don't you know a song about a Tillerman bringing candy and tea and rum? That's something that help us out here?
Do you want him to roll?
Yeah, why not?
This will be lore presence. See, Shannon 3. I've rolled a 20, which is a complication.
Uh-oh.
I know the complication we shall use. Actually, wait. I take this back. I'm going to use the rules as they are. If you want to, you could spend 2 of your momentum and the complication won't happen. That is a thing in this game.
Let the complication happen.
It's early on.
Yeah.
How bad could it be?
So,
This is how stories have to start with a complication. Let it roll.
Yeah.
Let it ride.
Yeah.
This is the complication to action.
also,
Yeah.
this, I have to say, this is 3 players who are always
A
going
complication
to
to
choose.
remember.
This is 3 players who are here to choose problems and narrative advancement and stakes raising. So, yeah, of course you're saying that. He sort of thinks on it, and he sort of starts thinking of how, oh yeah, there actually are a few sea shanties that go like that, and he begins to sing some of them to you. And as he sings, you all sort of begin to pay attention. Even Ambrose, who is stalking out, kind of comes back and listens. And he sings this song, and he is not the main storyteller of the group, Cotton, obviously. He's not sort of, the most sort of artistic, but in this instance, on this night, these sea shanties he's singing really, really get to you because they describe anger about unjust. We'll say it's about like unjust, tithing. Like having to give too much to the captain or the pirates who come and steal, and it's
We're gonna rage against the machine. That's what this is all
it's
about.
really hitting all of you.
Yeah.
And that is why none of you here at the gate, the one that faces the forest of death. Everyone is sort of either listening to the singing or is kind of turned away. None of you here.
Uh-oh. Failed step 1. Yeah. Fantastic.
Or at least you don't hear the first knocking. After that, it is a bit more insistent and loud. The singing is going on, but I will say that Lucky, Danvers, and Cotton, just by virtue of you being the players here tonight, I will say that all 3 of you do hear that pounding as Silas is now singing. What were some of the phrases you said would be in the song, Cotton?
I was saying that the Tillerman brings candy and tea and rum. Soon be the Tillerman come, bring candy and tea and rum.
Yep. So he's singing about, they'll bring candy, tea, and rum, but then they'll take it all away. Playing on a concertina. And as this is going on,
All right.
you do hear that loud knocking. Some of the other kids hear, but Silas is still singing.
Hey, Danvers, did you mention something about like monsters knocking on doors?
All right. Do they have part of the ritual? Do they have to say something to request these candies? Do we know of this ritual?
Do we just
Danvers,
chuck it at them?
Danvers is aware that they will come to the door and they will sort of like there's probably some degree of like a request made. But
Can I just grab a candy and take it to the door? Or...
sure, you just grab. Yeah, okay, so I mean, how much of the candy do you want to give to this first visitor? That's always a question.
One candy to one visitor, right? Or maybe it depends on size
Yeah, like
or scariness. Okay, is there some historian or
yeah.
lore
Can we
or
like
knowledge
judge the
about
monster's like appearance and award them candy based off of how?
scary they are?
I will say you can certainly do
how
that.
magic-
But you guys might want to get like the this is
All
like
right.
in the midst of this. You might want to bring, almost as if you considered like the giant treasure chest of candy, almost like a bowl. You just might want that to be like closer.
Okay,
to the door.
I like dragging the.
All right. So yes,
things
if you guys
behind
want
me.
to try to move it, it's a pretty heavy thing. But anyone who would like to try to carry the candy chest to the gate?
What do you need for that? It's agility, brawn, or what?
It's going to be brawn. I'll say this will be probably brawn and move.
Why won't Ambrose help us out? They're the one with the big muscles.
At this
Where is
point,
move?
Move is under the skills. It's the middle of the bottom ones.
I would pick up one side of it.
I think everyone has 12 except for Cotton, who has 11. But one of you can help another.
All right.
So who wants to do the carrying, and Cotton will help, basically?
Yeah.
I'll carry.
All right, so
Because
Danvers,
my
please
brawn is
roll.
10.
Danvers, roll 2d20s. You need under a 12 to succeed. Cotton, roll 1d20. You're only assisting, and yours only counts if Danvers succeeds. So yours kind of like gives extra help, but doesn't.
And I roll what? 2d20s
and you're looking for 12 or lower.
Oh, 5 and 13!
13? Ho!
Yes!
Oh.
Advance the dread clock!
No.
So the dread clock advances. We go up 1 on the dread clock. Everyone there in chat, there is a I'll just put some in myself, blah 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 blah, because they're fun. So boom 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 boom. So with that, Vanda, do you have your D13 handy?
Yes, I do.
Please roll it, and if you want to be the coolest person ever, roll a 13. If you want to be awesome, roll a 13.
I rolled a 13, I swear.
Did you?
Yes.
Oh.
Oh no.
You roll a 13.
Oh no.
So.
I did not expect it to happen this quickly. It's been a while since I've been on Blood from a Stone.
Are we doing? Is this a RTA stream? Are we already dead? 1 minute in.
Yes.
RTA TPK.
So you rolled a 13 and an 8. I have to resolve everything. So you did manage to carry it, but sort of the dread builds to do this. Cotton, what did you roll?
I rolled a 9.
A 9. That's a success. So here's options for you. You can either get it there all the faster, or you guys can bank Cotton's extra momentum for later.
I feel like now that we know that some bad stuff is going to happen, we should probably bank this momentum.
Bank it?
How much? I think so. How much more? Are we full up now?
You can get 1 more. You can have 6. I wish this didn't have 7 holes, but so it goes. So, all right. You guys get to the door, and when you reach it, the pounding stops.
While they were carrying it, I might as well just walked over to the door in order to open it once they were there.
Understood. So as you sort of get over there, you hear the knocking stops. Lucky, you open the door. The night is chill and still without. You hear crickets chirping. You can sort of hear the wind blowing, and Lucky, as you peer out, you do see a purple mist kind of like hovering along the edge of the Forest of Death. Lucky, I want you to make whatever the hell a look roll should be in this game. It's survival and it's. I'll let you do reason. I don't think it's daring. So survival and reason, a 13. Just roll 2 d20s. You're just trying to get below a thing.
If I roll 2 13s.
We've had people roll 2 13. Like one time, Lauren single-handedly advanced the dread clock like 4 in one of this system. It was amazing.
6 and 11. Let's
6
bank
and
one of these.
Bank the last one.
Yeah.
You guys are full on momentum, so you cannot bank it.
I don't spend it.
So spend
All
it
right.
when the time comes. But Lucky, you look out, and as your eyes sort of adjust to the darkness, as you peer through your black mask, you see a dark form, sort of large, top-heavy, monstrous, sort of almost in a huff the way it's walking, re-enter.
Wait,
the
hold
dark
on
forest.
there. That's gonna take something. And
Throw a candy after him. Throw it fast.
No, he's already in the forest now, right?
And then, horror begins to surge.
Oh no.
As Lucky, you hear this inhuman shrieking sound, and a skull wreathed in fire with bat wings on the bottom of it shrieks out of the forest, followed by another and another and another. Cotton and Danvers are right behind you, kind of carrying this thing that you see them coming. Lucky, what do you do?
Let me see. I've heard one of these things. What's it? Makes them back. They're not you when they're hungry. So let's fetch one of these things and just toss it at them. What
Okay,
are they
so you'll
called?
grab some candy and try to throw it at one of these kind of like flaming sort of like skull with rotten
Sure.
heads and wings on them. Okay, so Lucky, you're gonna
If
grab one
if
of
they're
those.
flaming, if they get too close, it'll melt this chocolate. So.
That is true too, and they're kind of they're sort of coming pretty quickly. This game doesn't use distance so much as zones, so we'll say they're kind of like using their action to come into your zone. But if you want to throw it at them, that is fine. I will say, I will let you use daring for this, and it will be I'll say daring. I'll say you're not throwing this aggressively, are you?
No.
Then I will let you do daring and move.
Okay.
So go ahead. That's a 16 you're trying to hit. Roll your 2d20. Do you want to spend any momentum on this roll here?
Might as well. So is it roll an extra d20?
So roll 3 d20s.
18, 6, 11. So 2 successes and 1 fail.
18, 6, and 11. That is 2 successes. Great. You manage to throw it sort of to this thing, kind of like you get it to the lead one. But
Okay.
Lucky, you can tell by the way it's moving that this creature has not come for candy.
Oh.
This one has come for blood.
Come on, man.
Is there a candy apple?
This is because
In
of
the
the horror
box?
surge being rolled. You're just being attacked because of monsters. This is where the zombies suddenly charge in very.
I'll close the door.
So as you begin to sort of move to close the door, well, you've already taken your action, which was throwing it. Cotton and Danvers, you hear him sort of screaming. You see him throw something and saying, "Come back." What would you two like to do? You can tell Lucky is now like freaking out, or is sort of.
Do we see what's going on, or? No?
Sure. If you, you guys had succeeded, so we can even say you've gotten to the door. You look out and you see 4 of these skull things emerging, and in the distance there are more points of light coming out of the forest.
Can I quickly consult my Tome of Dread to find out how to beat back these flaming skulls?
Ah, interesting. So you want to consult lore to give the others advice on this subject. I will actually say that yes, if you want to rapidly sort of comb through it to see if anything in there, these dark things would help you. Your Tome of Dread is sort of on a somewhat different subject, but I will allow you to try it. However, the difficulty will be 3.
May I assist with that using my advisor talent?
Yes, let me look at what that does. Does that allow you to do it as a
So it just no. I mean, it's just when I assist with the lore skill, they can re-roll one of their.
Okay, so if you want to use your action to do that, you absolutely can.
Sure.
Okay, so would both of you make a lore and insight roll?
Since
Do
it's
I-
difficulty 3, they need to roll an extra dice.
So here's how this works. So Vanda, you get to roll 2 by default. You could spend 1 momentum to get a 3rd.
Take it.
Your book.
Do I have to decide it?
You have to decide
now or
Yes.
after?
So yeah,
now?
no
Okay.
one roll any. There is also in this game, don't roll until I say, okay, let's roll, because there's a lot of
Okay.
stuff for people. Yeah, so here's how it's going. Vanda's going to roll 2 dice. Unless you spend 1, then you need to roll a 3rd.
I'd like to spend 1.
You'll spend 1, so you roll 3. Your book will roll an additional 1 for you. I will roll that on behalf of your book.
Okay.
Because of that, you get to re-roll 1 dice. Pierce is also going to do this, so he can also. You can re-roll up to 2 of the dice. Pierce's does not say you can roll his, but you can roll up to two of your 3 dice, or this one, because that one explicitly says it. So you roll your 3.
Okay. Roll now.
Mm-hmm.
Math's
Oh,
gonna
I
be
have an
complicated.
8, a 10, and an 11.
Those are
8,
definitely
10.
successes.
That's 3 successes.
Ooh, excellent.
Is that
Your
correct?
lore has to be under 11.
What is your you're doing insight and lore? Is that correct, Danvers?
Whatever you said.
Yeah, that's what you said.
So insight and lore for you is an 11. So they're all under 11.
Okay. No, 1 is 11.
One is
8,
11.
10, 11.
8, 10,
Yeah.
11. Perfect. So you have 3 successes right there. I'm going to roll for your book. Your book just rolled a 1.
Ooh.
So that's,
Mega
But
success.
I have a good book.
2 more successes. Cotton, could you roll?
5.
5. That is under yours as well.
Yeah, I have a 13.
Okay, so you have 6 successes. Now, theoretically, you could re-roll 2 of your own dice trying to roll nat ones, but you wind up with fewer successes than you have. But you have 6, so you only needed 3. So what do you want to do? Do you want to go for broke, or, and then the second question here is, you could bank 2 of those and spend the extra 1, or you could spend all 6 now to kind of like have the best possible degree of success for this understanding of this tome to know what could happen.
I think let's use them all, right?
Use them all
Agreed.
in this moment. Then in
I
that
agree.
case, with your 6 successes, as lucky as like hoping to stand back the door, Danvers, you come to the door looking through. Cotton's helping you thumb through the pages and pointing at things, and the book is sort of successing you. You realize that this attack from these creatures is going to put them, sort of bring them into the area where magic is harder to sort of hold together thanks to the influence of your princess. And though you are never to use magic, it is not something that you guys are supposed to use. You do know that there are basically some incantations you could say right now that could harm these things.
Ooh, okay.
The question, however, is that you have a value called "we must never become that which we despise." So the question is, do you want to do this in this moment? Do you want to?
Oh,
Do you
what
want
would
to?
the sacred bikini girls do?
Probably
As far
wash
as-
a car.
As far as you know, they would maybe wash a car or drink beer. You're not really sure what the bikini. You don't. you
Can
have a
I
picture
quickly
of one.
ask need advice from the sacred bikini girls?
This is kind of initiative combat stuff. So
Happening
this is sort of a decision that you
second.
have to make right now.
Can I make somebody else do it?
Now I'm there, so what do we want to make a decision on?
I think this is up to you, Danvers. Cotton has helped you, but you are the one who understands what
How
has happened.
scary are these skulls? Like very scary on the scale of 1 to 10?
It's a horror surge, so there's going to be 13 of them coming for you.
Yes, I am saying the words, and I will have to atone for it later.
Understood. So
Go to the door and says, "Abracadabra, go away."
basically,
Whatever.
well, what you actually begin to do is you begin to recite words about how home brewing is actually quite easy, and it's a very fun and very rewarding pastime. And you can sort of flavor stuff. So as I don't know, I'm not sure Danvers has said this on the stream. Danvers, would you like to tell them the name of your Tome of Dread that you're in the possession of?
It is
Amazing.
Hold on. It's
It's down to your equipment, yeah.
Hausbrauen leicht gemacht from the Leckergarten.
Yes. In other words, home brewing made
Home
easy.
brewing.
From the tasty gardens of the Leckergarten is one of our domains. So, as
You really like German.
that's just what that's based on some rules. That's just what that one is for reasons that I'll explain later. But it's crazy. Now, and forgive me, I am actually trying to look something up in this game how this works, because you are using your value, this is going in direct opposition to a value. Oh yeah. You are challenging your value. Yeah. Sorry everyone.
Do I get a stress level or something?
No. Here we go. Nope. I really like this system, but I swear that this book is impossible to find anything in. It is one of the weirdest organized books I've ever seen.
Lucky. Lucky, did you hear what she said? I'm pretty sure.
So
That was magic.
here is what you're, so as Cotton sort of pointing this out, but Danvers, you begin to sort of say these incantations, attempting to perform magic, which is only possible at this edge of the kingdom. You are sort of challenging your value. Since you are going against your value, you have two options.
Okay.
One, you can spend 2 of your momentum so that I don't add anything to the threat. 2, I will add points to our threat, which is kind of my momentum that I have behind the scenes. Or 3, you can choose to change that value in this moment. You can choose to cross it out to lose that value, in other words. To sort of forego that as your character sort of is growing and changing. That being said, that's a value you've had a long time and an important one in this kingdom. So what of those 3 choices would you like to make?
I'm going with 3.
You're going to change the value. Wonderful. So, for now, we'll just put that in the good old-fashioned strike-through text.
Character development.
But that may have some implications for later. So, Danvers, as you sort of begin, saying these incantations about the power of craft brew,
From now on, called Danvers the Cursed.
Danvers the Cursed from this on. Sort of you do that. I'm going to... So, I will say, actually, because you succeeded 3 above you rolled a difficulty 6 there, I will say that will include that you perform it properly. This kind of just magical burst meant to sort of frighten these things back or call on some sort of magical power of its own. So I will now roll on the behalf of these monsters coming for you. That one is not good. That one's a little better. That one is not good.
I don't know whose perspective are you saying it's not good?
For their perspective. So,
okay.
You say this, Danvers, And for a moment, you hear the strange strains of kind of like music where it's like, kind of like
Oh no!
It's
This
like,
Oktoberfest?
Madness! Madness!
You can hear these sort of like it's almost like the little concertina that Silas would play with his sea shanties, but it's much like louder and heavier, and there's like a boom 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 boom, kind of like this low sort of tuba sound in there. You kind of hear that on the wind as you sort of perform this incantation, Danvers. And as you do so, from the sort of roots of the trees on the edge of the Forest of Death, some of the roots fire up out of the ground, wrapping themselves around 3 of these flaming, sort of skull, bat-winged, kind of like rotten head monsters coming for you, their tongues sort of lolling like crazy, and begin to sort of like pull on them. And it looks like in the background, maybe some of the others are being similarly kind of like stopped, those who haven't even made it out of the woods, as something is going on in these woods. One of them, however, does make it through, and that one is going to attempt to attack Lucky. So, Lucky, do you want to do you want to like fight back against this thing? Do you want to like duck it? What do you want to do? You could do an unarmed combat if you'd like, or you can try to like dodge.
I'll try dodging.
Okay.
Under move.
You do have a focused on unarmed combat, by the way.
I do.
Understood. But yeah, so for that move, this would just be move and agility, 13.
Okay.
All right.
Move and agility.
2D.
18 and 3, so just one success.
One success. This guy rolls a 3 and a 7.
2 successes, so he...
That's actually 3 successes for him.
Oh. Oh, then.
So, you guys watch as one of these things comes to Lucky and kind of latches onto Lucky. I will roll its damage, because I have the ways to do that here. Lucky, how much stress do you have? How many white boxes do you have?
3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10.
10. Okay, good news for you is I've only rolled 4 points of stress. So you take 4 stress, but that means you have not received an injury. So click 4 of your stress. Those have been expended. But if you ever take 5 at once, you're gaining an injury, and then you're like incapacitated and in trouble. But this thing has like bit you like really bad, and it's just kind of like wild stuff. You're getting singed by it. It's somehow its sharp bony teeth kind of like latching onto your clavicle. You're being beaten with these bat wings on your sides. It's pretty horrible.
Question.
Yeah.
Is this event a yearly thing that we know of?
It is a yearly thing. That is
okay.
correct.
So it's not a surprise that this has happened before. I've seen.
You have seen monsters. No monsters have ever come all the way here before. This is wild that this has happened. You maybe the previous year were here and like a monster came and took some stuff and went back into the forest. But even in all your time patrolling here, you've never seen a monster here. It's when you have like gone into the woods and attacked monsters yourself. Right. But you've never seen one attack your outpost like this. Clearly horror is surging. So Lucky. You've been hit, but at this point it's a new initiative round. There are rules for this as well. I'm just gonna say you guys can keep initiative. That's fine. Technically, sometimes you have to spend momentum to keep the initiative if you've been injured, but we'll just let you guys keep it. So, what do you all want to do on your side?
Yeah, might as well just beat this down.
I'm gonna try to shoot that thing off of Lucky with my crossbow.
Okay, you're gonna pull out a crossbow, try to shoot that thing.
Don't miss.
Danvers, what are you going to do? Actually, Danvers. Me. You probably want to use your action maintaining this spell if you want to keep it going.
Yeah.
All right.
Probably going slightly mad in the process, hearing that horrible oompa music.
That was just like a hint of it. Like you're not hearing it as you're just kind of like reading from the book and trying to sort of do these things.
I have my knife on my person, and this thing is here, so just.
Understood. So you'll make a knife attack, and Cotton will make a crossbow attack. Perfect. Okay, Cotton, why don't you sort of do that first, since Lucky's kind of having to stab up at it already on him. Cotton, go ahead and make your roll. For
sure,
a ranged thing, sorry, yeah, it's like, what is the roll? Good question. Ranged attacks are... I will learn more of the system eventually, don't you guys
I
worry.
assume one of them's combat.
One is combat, but it is agility and combat.
Okay.
But the difficulty of all ranged attacks is 2. If you'd like to spend
I'll take one momentum. I'll take one momentum.
Take one momentum.
There's not a 1. That's unfortunate. There's a 19, a 9, and a 7, so that's 2 successes.
19, a 9, and a 7. This would be rude if this is the case. Hold on. Some weapons have a complication on a 19 and a 20. Nope, not that. You're fine. Okay.
Okay.
So it's 2 successes.
2 successes.
2 successes is what you need. So you do manage to hit your foe. Oh wait. The complication range increases by 1 if there are creatures in reach of the target.
Oh, come on, man. Which means there's a potential to hit me.
So there's a complication.
If you want, you can spend 2 momentum and there's no complication.
I will spend the 2 to get rid of it.
Perfect.
Good thing we're
Seems
getting
like
a lot of
time
those
to not-
things.
All right. So you
bad
sort of do
time
this.
to-
So in that case, yeah, basically, and it literally is that a complication would be that the other creature is struck by the attack. So, but in this case, you managed to hit it. Go ahead and roll your. Nope, I'll do it because the dice are crazy. How many dice do you get to roll for this?
6.
Because I have to roll. There's things called
Oh, man.
It just says 60.
60. And are there any qualities after it?
Piercing 1, deadly, cumbersome, slow loading.
Okay, deadly just means you're losing it. Slow loading just means it's like hard for you to you can only chew at one time.
Right.
You have to take a prepare minor action. That's what you did. But then piercing, you said, that's interesting.
Oh,
Ooh,
no.
Ignores their resistance for every
Oh,
effect you
okay.
roll. Okay, that's cool. And it's 60.
60. Yeah.
60.
Piercing,
Alright.
pierce things, huh?
You've rolled 2
Roll.
effects on the first 4.
Okay.
You've rolled 3 effects total. You rolled no damage, but you did roll 3 effects. So basically, you deal 3 stress to it, ignoring all of its resistance, but it is not fully dead yet.
Okay.
But you do manage to hit, and it sort of squawks, and we'll say maybe one of the flapping wings gets pinned to the side of the face, and some of what skin
It is
remains
flapping
is sort of
around.
burning off, and the fire eyes are like. But Lucky, it is now still attacking you. So once again, this is a contested thing between the 2 of you in our normal melee rules. There is 1 left if you want to take it. To have roll 3 dice.
What's the success criteria?
Successes beat their number of successes.
Oh.
So
Nah,
however
I'll
many
leave
I
that
roll,
be.
yeah.
My value, my luck will never run out. Maybe
Alright.
my luck will never run out.
So this because
go
you
for
are you're using your knife or using an unarmed thing.
Knife.
Okay, cool.
Wait, is there strategically better given the qualities of?
Just because you have a focus in unarmed fighting, so anything you roll under your combat value will be what is your combat though? Is it only 2?
2. Okay.
Honestly it's 6 of 1 at that point. Neither one of those is way better than the other. So it's up to you if you want to.
Does the focus being unarmed combat make it easier? Do I get more successes or more rolls or something?
The idea with unarmed combat for you is that unarmed combat kind of wound up being if you're ever doing an unarmed combat that was move based, it would be more helpful. It's that if you roll a 2 or lower, it's 2 successes. You also technically oh no, your unarmed strikes have the vicious 1 damage effect. So actually, your unarmed combat are just as good as a knife.
Then fine, I'll just give it the good old fisticuffs.
Okay, but the good news for you is melee combat is daring plus combat. So it's 14. So roll roll 2 d20s. Anything below 14 success, anything below 2 or 1 is 2 successes.
Okay.
This one will roll as well.
2 successes, 14 and 4.
2 successes here as well. They rolled a 2 and also a high number. But I'm gonna say, in the spirit of whatever, the tie will sort of go to you in this instance, because I let you guys. I sort of let you guys have the. I'm saying you're the one doing the attacking. So go ahead and roll your damage for that. Or I roll your damage of 3d.
3d.
And you have 1 vicious.
3d. They're all knockdown, non-lethal, vicious 1.
Vicious 1, great. Cool. That is 3 points of stress onto the Spieg, and they do always have their sort of minimum amount. So basically, between that and Cotton, you basically Cotton shoots it, and as it flaps weird, you just grab it and like smash it against the wall, and the skull sort of shatters, and kind of one of the wings flaps a couple times and then grows silent. In the meantime, as Danvers is maintaining this spell out there, Danvers, give me a daring lore roll. So you need to roll under a 12. But this is magical practices, so 4 or lower is 2 successes. You only need 1 success on this. If you want to spend the last momentum, you can.
No, do I roll 2 dice?
Roll 2 d20s.
Under 14?
Roll 12 or lower, but 4 or lower is 2 successes.
Okay.
Let's fill up those momentum dice again.
I rolled 17 and 18.
Oh, 17 and 18. So, Danvers, as you're sort of
I'm in trouble.
Then here's what we're gonna do. I'm decreasing the difficulty for the next round to get through these sort of things that have come. So you have taken care of 4 of them, the 3 that you already caught and that one. But now there's 4 more coming. Actually, wait, which one will it be in? Because there's 13 total, so it's always in 4, 5, 4, or 4, 4, 5, or 5, 4, 4. This is the round with 5 coming out. So,
of course.
How many can get? They only need 1 success to beat it rather than 2. That one will get 1. That one will get like 3. That one will get 1. That one will get 1 and roll the 13, but they don't count for me.
By the way, did you advance the dread clock for a second time?
Wait, did you roll another 13?
But on the 13. Remember?
Well, I did it when you rolled the 13 when this started, but did...
But no, it rolls
oh,
the first
no, it doesn't.
13.
If you roll a 13 on the D13, that doesn't count. That's just that just gives me the best option of I do a horror story. So at this point, 5 of them are now coming. They are emerging from the woods. They will sort of be here next round to attack you all, but they have gotten through the woods, and you see even more points of light coming out behind them.
Block the windows and all of that stuff.
What you can do is just raise an alarm for your, for everyone else if you want
raise
to
the alarm.
All right, that's a minor action. Lucky you haven't really taken one of those yet. Cotton, you did doing that, and Danvers, you do that. But Lucky, as you begin to sort of scream out for this, in this point, you guys now for this last round have the advantage of like a full group of people. Stop
the shanties.
So this round, in a more kind of like siege-based thing, what would everyone like to do? Danvers, I assume you're going to keep doing your spell.
Mm-hmm.
Cotton, what would you like to do?
I guess I will just try to fire my crossbow again. So I'll take my prepare minor action to reload it and fire again.
Minor action, and there's little arrow slits. There's no way you guys built Oyster Catcher Outpost without like arrow slits to fire through, obviously.
Of course.
So Cotton, you can do one of those. It's difficulty 2, and it is your agility and your combat. And anything under your combat counts as 2 successes because you have focus in those. Lucky, what are you going to do?
I'm gonna back up behind Ambrose, who I assume will be coming for the door. And
actually, Ambrose is probably going to a higher level to like shoot with his arrows. And stuff.
Man. All right, I'll just close the door and keep an eye on Are there windows or are there like boarded up, whatever's?
There's like arrow slits, murder hole type things that you guys can like
Right.
look through and fire.
Well, I'll just look for any entrances they could get in when they try to get inside, and I'll give them a good old right hook.
Understood. So you'll kind of prepare a right hook for any who manage to get through.
Yeah.
You know what? You live here, no problem. You can easily be like, they'll probably come through this grate. So there's this
Are there
little hole with
stealth
the
rules
masonry.
and sneak attack rules in this thing?
Not really sneak attack rules, no. But there probably are, but I don't know.
I'm not gonna read through all of that.
So we'll say that at this moment you're kind of just like preparing to sort of punch any who might get through. Danvers, Danvers, go ahead and make your insight plus lore, which is for you an 11. No, daring plus lore. It's not insight. It's 12. We used daring last time. So roll 2 d20s. You need 12 or lower to sort of maintain the spell at a better rate.
Can I use the momentum for that?
You may. You can spend the last momentum. So there's no momentum now. But you can always buy momentum by adding to my threat pool.
Each under 12, right? Okay, 13, 14, and a 7.
You rolled a 13?
Yes,
All
I
right.
did.
Roll a d13.
Oh.
Roll 13 again, Vanda. Make this a real short stream.
Don't roll a 13. I mean, actually, yes, roll a 13 again, but that would be...
4.
4?
So what we need is now
4.
2 horses are just fighting each other.
All right.
Happened before.
That literally happened. That's how they survived.
Isn't that how we did it when the Noir one?
That was in the Noir one. That's exactly right. You guys rolled 2 horse surges and managed to pit them against each other, which was a wise thing to do in the circumstance. Cool. All right. So, but how many successes is that? None?
Yes, that was one success.
1 success. Okay. I will increase it to 2 difficulty then for the last wave to sort of get through. The rest of these have already sort of made it past the branches and are attacking. Lucky, go ahead and make one of your melee attack situations here where you get to roll. Your daring plus your combat, and anything anything that's 2 or lower will be a success for you, or will be double successes.
9 and 14, 2 successes.
2 successes, great. And then this guy actually roll a 3rd dice. You get an advantage since you're like waiting for him. Yeah.
Okay.
You get like a little
This one is 10, so
3
another
successes?
success, but not 3 success.
This one rolled a 20.
Ooh.
And a single success. So I'm actually going to say that Lucky, with that complication, as this one comes out, you manage to kind of like bash it sort of back out, and it winds up kind of like backing away, and basically 2 of the skulls get stuck in a little hole, like wedged together. Where you're able to just like kind of like punch in there, or you can stab in there, sort of, kind of against like a helpless opponent. You can take out 2 of them.
Give them some noogies there.
Cotton, go ahead and roll your attack. This is your difficulty is 2. And you need this is combat and agility.
Okay. And with my focus, it's under my combat score?
Under your combat score, correct.
Okay. So that would be 1 success and a 20. So let's balance the scales, I guess, on the...
1 success and a 20.
And a natural 20, yeah.
So that does not hit that one.
That's correct.
You have no momentum to spend, but you could add 2 to threat to avoid the complication now.
Nah, man, it's all right.
Let it ride? Okay.
Yeah, I saw I was looking in the clouds, and for a moment I saw a sacred bikini girl. It's blinded me. I don't want to tell you.
All right. What's a good complication here? I've got it. Cotton, your arrow, your bolt, rather, crossbow, apologies, flies out, and rather than hitting the one who's like kind of like flying up to attack, you know, like Ambrose and some of the others who have gone up high to like shoot down on them, your bolt passes through one of the vines that was like holding one of the first wave, and that one is freed to go and attack some friends. And in fact, you then see it. I'm going to roll off for some people up there. Here's Orphans of the Eldritch. 18 and 19 I rolled for them. The one who you just freed, I'm not even joking, a 1 and a 2. So basically, Cotton, so you shoot your crossbow bolt, that lets one out, and then up top, and will it be, let's say, Cotton, roll me any die, just evens or odds. Evens is a named person, odds it's someone you guys haven't met yet.
That is a 3.
3. So, and Cotton, as you do that, you sort of shoot, and then you just like, you see that one like soar up with just like its eyes like, and after a few moments you hear a scream as one of the Orphans of the Eldritch like falls down from the top parapet, crunching as they land horribly, and that thing then descends and starts eating it.
Oh no, Einstein and the red shirt, no.
Einstein was kind of a dick, honestly.
Einstein is what you're naming that one?
That's what I thought I heard Lucky say, so I'm going with that.
What was it Ensign? However they pronounce it.
Oh, you said Ensign. I thought you said Einstein.
Ensign, yeah. I've never actually heard it pronounced.
I'm going with Einstein.
Ensign.
Yeah.
Einstein? Oh, man.
One of the kids
Why was Einstein doing combat?
Yeah. Who plummets to the ground with a sickening crunch. Aw, poor Einstein. He was so young, by definition. So, well,
relatively speaking.
Yeah. As these things attack, the last thing I get to do is that the monsters are coming for you. The last 4 are coming.
That's so many.
Failure. That one is caught by Danvers things because now they need 2 successes again. Failure. That one gets through. The last of the 4 rolls a 1 and also gets through. So 2 of them are taken, but there are 2 more coming. And then there's like, you know, there's now, because you took out 2 down here of the 5, but 1 got free, so there's 4 that they're trying to deal up with there, and there's 2 more coming. What does everyone do for this last round? Or this next round, rather. I don't know if I can't say for sure it's the last.
Last round, one way or another.
Exactly.
Same idea. Are the ones that were stuck, are they like dealt with, or are they?
I'm gonna say they were stuck, and you could have just like knifed in there, you know, like
sure.
Pop off this thing.
All right,
they're dead now, yeah, for sure.
Same strategy. If it worked one time.
Oh well, I'll tell you what. Here's what you can do for that, Lucky, because you've probably that's like that hole is like clogged at this point.
Wow.
You know, so you can go to a different one, but why don't you do a roll me a reason and survival. 13.
Ooh.
To try to figure out another good entry.
2d20s, right? 2d20s, right? Okay. 15 and 6, so 1 success.
1 success. Wait, your insight and survival is 12. A reason and survival is 13.
Yeah.
But you rolled 15 and 16.
15 and 6.
Oh, 6. Oh, good. Okay.
Right.
Copy.
Yeah.
So yes, you do manage to kind of head over to another thing. I'll just do evens. One will come that way. Odds one will not. Odds, as it happens, they're all going up for sort of the better meat on top. Man. Cotton, you're going to take another shot.
So, question, Dread Master.
Please.
What are the minor actions? Because I have I can prepare minor action to grant an ally a minor action. So could I?
Yes, absolutely.
What could I do to help Danvers or Lucky?
All right. Minor actions are as follows. You can aim, draw an item, drop prone, interact, move extra, or sort of like prepare an action, which really that's what Lucky sort of did when he was attacking them over there, or stand up. So I will actually say, aside from like sending Lucky upstairs to go fight up there aren't really good minor actions in this case. What you could do is add 1 to threat and also aim, which allows you to re-roll a d20 on your attack.
Yeah, all right.
Okay, so the threat will go up by 1.
Really?
So go ahead and make your attack. It is difficulty 2. You have only 2 dice you're rolling, and it is your agility and your combat.
I get to re-roll.
Reroll 1.
Okay, because that one was a 19. And now
On the reroll.
it's a 1.
It's a 1.
Ooh.
So that's already double
2
success.
successes.
And a 7. So I'll bank one of those and take my second.
Bank one of them and simply take the 2. Go ahead and you get 6.
6 of them. Yeah.
Okay, that's much better. I was rolling a 6. Okay, yes. You this time one of those 2 that made it through is kind of like and you just kind of and it just drops into the ground. The other one gets up, so there's sort of fewer.
Oh,
Yeah.
wait. Oh, never mind. It doesn't stack. Sorry, I was like, the fact that I have crossbow focus and I rolled a 1, it's not 3 successes, it's
not
still
3
2.
successes. It's just, it's basically, it means a 3 is the same as a 1 for you in those cases.
Yeah.
All right. It's a fighter critting on 18 or 19.
Right.
Champion fighter, yeah. All right. So, up top, let's see how, like, Ambrose... You know what? I'm just going to roll once for Ambrose. Ambrose has a combat of 5 and a brawn of 12 with, his weapons, so... I roll a 5 and a 10, so that's 3 successes. I'm just going to roll on Ambrose's dice. How many dice do you guys think Ambrose rolls? 7.
8?
It's 7.
7.
Yeah. So, 3 and a thing. And
What's their
5.
weapon of choice?
So basically, you hear Ambrose up there like hacking, and though
Sword.
some more of your fellows are slain,
Oh no.
at the end of the day, you have fought off that assault. Let's see.
Boars, Feynman. No.
Your Abigail kind of comes stalking down. Her cloak is ripped. There's like a crack in her mask, and she's kind of just looks really mad. Some singe marks on her. Lucky you also have some singe marks on you. And she just kind of comes down and sort of says like, "What happened?"
You tell me.
I saw like a rift open up in the forest of like a purple sort of haze, and these things just started pouring out of it. Not sure what it was, but they just went straight for Lucky.
I didn't even do anything today.
We tried to give him candy. Lucky threw the candy at the monster, but these things just kept coming.
I'm gonna have her make an insight on you, just generally speaking. 18 and 20. Yep, she believes it. I mean, you're not saying anything totally wrong, but
Mostly true.
it's basically true. So basically, as she listens to this, she's like, "What? But what about the one who was knocking? Did we give that one candy?"
We tried.
I don't think we got there in
It
time.
wasn't these things that were knocking, was it?
Well, they don't have hands.
And how were they? And what was fighting them in the woods? What was it that was causing the ground to open up and the tree branches to get them? That horrible druid magic. Did we see what creature was doing that?
Do we know that this is for sure Danvers'
I am
thing?
going to say that Lucky and Cotton, the 3 of you are the only ones who are down here. You are sure that Danvers did that.
I mean, I know, but I think at this moment it might have been a blessing in disguise.
She whirls
Maybe.
on you. You know that can't be true. It's magic. It's all bad. Even when it's magic on magic violence, it's still bad.
Well, I don't know what did it.
Are we? How close are we?
Danvers is standing there by the house and
Yeah, kind of like
starts-
still in a bit of a daze.
I just like to imagine I'm saying this, and right behind me is Danvers, book open, still mumbling, staring up.
yeah.
Yeah.
Probably he he or she is half
And
mad.
she's all floating in there with
she's
magical.
rolled an 18 and a 20, which for her means she's only fixated on you. She's not even looking at Danvers. You know, Danvers is the lore keeper. There's no way Danvers would have done such a thing as this. But Lucky, you're sort of there, but then she sort of looks at you and says, "You got bitten."
I'll say.
Oh no. You should drink some medicine, but you're probably going to die. We don't know what they carry. They might cause another disease.
Well. Ripe old age of 10. Wish I could have seen my teens, but them's the breaks.
Well, drink some medicine anyway. She kind of grabs like a bottle of something and just hands it to you.
Not cough syrup. Oh, man.
It's actually, it's castor oil.
Oh, yeah, of course it is.
It's what?
Castor oil.
Castor oil?
I'll pull out my knife and I said, this one time I was in the woods and someone got bit by a snake and we cut the venom out and saved him.
What are you going to do? Cut the magic out of me?
Do it. Cut the magic out of him.
Yeah, we could try to cut the magic out.
Oh no! Can I just take my anti-magic charm and give it to him? It's just like, use this because I have an anti-magic charm. Apparently.
You do?
All right. Do I just push it up to the skull bites on my shoulder?
Oh yeah. Let's cut a slot. We can shove that in there.
Wait.
I'm not sure. Do I know it? Am I smart enough to know whether that's a good idea?
Well, okay, Danvers, I'll let you do it in this way. Make a reason and lore roll. So that is 15, and this is this is not magical practices. 15.
If we because if we cut, we put in there. That's like what? That's like a
7 and a 9.
7, 9. That's 2 successes.
An IMD, something like that.
So hold on a second, guys.
Sure.
Danvers, with you researching this is an instance of your studious. You've scored 2 success, so you could bank 1 or you could spend it immediately to obtain information and ask me 2 questions instead of just because you're going to get some basic info, but you can get way more info here if you'd like to about the situation.
Okay, 2 questions.
Okay, so the info that you hear from this is that you aren't sure what these monsters were. You definitely know that monsters can pass diseases or curses in a bite. You know that is a possibility. I will say you think that the anti-magic charm would just be a good thing there, but you doubt it should be put into the body. Whereas maybe cutting the poison out if possible would be good, or maybe just medicine would, But go ahead and ask me more questions. You'll get 2 more pieces of info.
Well, the question is then, what will be the best way to make sure that the wound is properly sanitized?
I'm a scout, so I know a little bit. I know a little bit about survival techniques. I bet.
Danvers, I'll say, because you get this as free info since you're spending the momentum. In a case like this, you suspect burning is probably the best.
Oh man, they were already flaming skulls. Oh.
You would think that kind of like cauterizing the wound would probably be a good call. And second question.
Would my anti-magic charm any help in this?
Your anti-magic charm does ward against magic, as far as you know. It's not a particularly powerful charm, but it should work. So because this disease would be magical in nature, so you do think Lucky having it on is a good idea. Yes.
Okay. What is it made of?
Silver.
Is
probably.
it metal or something?
Anything you? Ooh, is it metal? Sure, it's metal. Yeah. Oh, do you want to
I'm
brand him with
wondering
it?
if you use that
Cold
to
iron?
burn it out, would that be double effective?
Sure,
Oh,
that's
man.
fun.
All right, I'm gonna do it. I have a daring of 12. Just toss that into a fire for a little bit to heat it up, and then.
That is true. You're daring of that. So actually, make
Have
that
some
case.
tongs and.
Make a daring survival roll, Lucky.
All right.
This is basically your con save. They sear you with this thing.
4 and 17, so only 1 success.
1 success. So in that case, we'll say that you don't take more stress from it, but you do pass out as they cauterize the wound. But actually, because now a combat is over, you can remove all your stress. The way this game works is your stress just kind of goes away with a little bit of rest, whereas injuries stay forever.
Right.
So
I'll rely on
yeah.
you guys to give out the candy, and I'm just gonna take a nap.
Understood.
Am I floor game? I'm probably floor game. I'm on the floor.
Yeah.
Just...
So Abigail kind of looks around and says, I'm worried that you said that one of them came and it left and it didn't take any candy.
Yeah, like we threw some candy after it, but do you think we have to go into the woods?
Maybe no. I should go to the woods and bring the candy.
Well, we can't let you go alone, Danvers.
No, it has to be me.
Well, yeah, you can go.
You know
We're all
why?
gonna-
You know
we're all
why?
gonna
No,
go.
no. Only I have to go. It's too dangerous.
Yeah, but
And
it'd be a
he's
good-
already spaced out.
Well, he'll wake up in a second. Just a little fire. He'll be fine.
Well, Abigail
But no.
says, if you think you should, but I doubt we'll ever see you again. So leave your book here if you go, so someone else can learn to understand history and lore. At this point, you're all jolted, as there is... Yeah, and Lucky will say that a little time has passed, you can wake up. There is a...
All right. Candy and open the door.
Standing at the door is a sort of tall, sort of like dashing man wearing a long cloak, very slender, very angular features, looking down at all of you. Trick or treat.
Do you have a sweet news?
Is that a query?
Oh.
stranger?
You want one of them?
I don't really feel much like
He
another
kind of like
trick.
extends this very sort of long fingered hand like this.
Ah,
And
I get
all
it,
of
I
you
get
can
it.
tell that the three of you and Abigail sort of sitting here can tell that you are looking at a full-on like mage spellcaster.
Oh.
His eyes kind of are like they're sort of a little wide, and there's just this otherworldliness that's eerie.
Does he seem like the kind who doesn't show up in mirrors, by chance?
Yeah, you see a vampire?
Lucky, why don't you make a reason lore roll?
Okay. 2 and 2. Whoa!
This guy doesn't seem vampiric to you, but he seems maybe a little devilish. He's probably made some
Okay.
dark patterns.
I see,
You
I
have
see.
heard the term warlock. You
Mm.
suspect that sort of guy.
He's the kind that can Eldritch Blast from like 150 miles away, and... Alright.
Depending on domain. What the
Alright.
Um,
I'll fetch some candy and pop that into his hand. Is he discerning of the kind of candy
looks
he
at the
gets?
candy and says, "Oh, that's a bit light, don't you think?"
If you insist.
Give him some more.
Yeah.
Perfect. Oh, he takes a piece.
With the wrapper?
Oh, if it's wrapped, he'll. Ooh, actually, to be a real rude dick about it right in your face. He has to roll though, because it's not easy here. It's a difficulty too. He makes it. He like waves his fingers and the candy begins to unwrap in front of you. Abigail like grabs her knife because he's practicing magic, right, like tauntingly in front of all of you. Delicious.
They're loading my crossbow.
Oh, have any of you ever had candy this divine?
Well,
Nuts and berries.
well, when I was younger, what the princesses would allow me to be like a taster to make sure it went well. So yeah, I've tried some.
Sure you have. So good. I couldn't possibly finish all of it. But I will. Have a lovely
The dick.
week of blood.
Sure. Be sure to get some exercise if you can eat them all.
A lovely week of blood do you do?
He sort of turns and begins to glide back towards
You know
the
that
house.
doesn't count as exercise, man. You gotta move your legs.
Man.
Basically, as you guys sort of close the door, Abigail's like, I hate this night.
Yeah, it's not great.
All right, well, so we think there's someone who's going to be mad who didn't get their tribute. It wasn't him, was it?
No, I don't think so. Was it Lucky? Looked more beast-like to me.
Did he look? The one who walked away, was he like furry type?
He was. You're not sure if he was furry or scaly, but he was definitely not like a human thing. He seemed very big.
Right.
Yeah, kind of like very sort of like, small bodied and a massive sort of top kind of thing.
Massive top heavy.
But
he
she
definitely
says,
looks like.
A Rob Liefeld creation. I believe.
Yes, exactly. So basically, she'll sort of say, "Well, Danvers, if you're going, I suppose you should go."
Okay, I stuck candies in my pockets
Now,
and.
Hold on to me picking Mitten just 1 second. We can't let you go alone, Danvers.
It's not your choice.
Well, sort of.
I have to go. You know why?
Yeah, I know why you gotta go, and I know why I gotta go with you. But just saying, I just want to know if there's any stories that might be a help before we leave. Do I know any heroes of the Aracanabane that have done something like this in the past?
Oh, for sure. You know many famous heroes of Aracanabane. If you're looking for something that would be helpful, so basically, this is you trying to recall the situation. This is not you inspiring people.
Yeah. I'm trying to remember a story similar to this.
Then I will say it could be both daring or insight, but it's either way. It's that plus lore. So it's 13, but 3 or lower is double. You have 1 momentum if you'd like to spend it.
No, that's okay.
Okay.
We'll go with daring.
Okay.
That sucks. 14 and 17.
Oh no. I'm
sort
sure
of
there are
think,
heroes.
I also
I can't think of them, but I'm sure there are.
Cotton goes, now hold on. There's a story that's relevant here. There actually isn't. Yes, you can think of no. You can
As a
think of
grandmother in the woods, wolf. Nah, I don't think that's relevant here. But by any case, you're not going alone, Danvers. We gotta come with you. Well, I'm coming with you. I can't really speak for Lucky.
Good luck out there. Now I'm the scout, so I should probably go and at least lead you to the forest if you're gonna provide the tribute.
I guess it'd be good lucky out there then, since you're coming along.
Yeah. Then put the cauldron of candy right by the front and be sure to listen to all of the for any knocks.
I'll also
And Lucky still has the anti-magic thing, right?
I do.
Okay.
I'll also grab
Yeah,
like a
bring
handful
that
of
with you.
candy as well, just in case I need to make some other offerings on the way.
Okay. So the 3 of you are going? Lucky too?
Yep.
All right.
Story. Plot twist time.
And Danvers will venture into the forest of death.
I'm gonna die soon anyway.
Yeah, but
it's
it's named after like Horatio Death. It's not really as scary as it sounds. It's just
And
sort of the guy
it's
that
really
found it.
it's
You guys-
spelled the and apostrophe.
D apostrophe
Yes.
ETH. Yeah,
Death.
sure.
Yes.
Oh, fantasy
The
nonsense. So, as the 3 of you leave and walk away from Oystercatcher Outpost, you reach the edge of the woods. About 100 yards or so away, there is a thick purple sort of fog that kind of hangs, kind of cutting both in the clearing where Oystercatcher Outpost is and kind of leading to the hilly, plains where they kind of then extend back to the princess's castle, and then it also kind of goes into the woods, and even throughout the woods there are little wisps of this purplish mist. But You're standing there at the edge. By now, the trees have all grown silent. Many of them have like bat-winged heads crushed within the roots, some half buried, having been dragged back into the earth. But the three of you reach the ends of the woods.
This is a big old top-headed thing, Lucky.
Mr. Sasquatch, Mr. Furry, Mr. DeviantArt poster. No.
Make a Lucky, since you're the one sort of daringly calling out. I'm gonna let you make a. It's not a daring roll, but you're the one doing it since you're daring. Make an insight and. I'll let you do survival, so a 12.
Okay.
As you sort of just try to get a sense of like what's going on here.
10 and 6.
10 and 6. Two successes. Do you want to bank one?
I'll bank one.
All right. Well, you could obtain information, but you guys are so low. Lucky, I'll say the long and the short of it is you have a sense that you will have to venture into the woods.
Hey, Lucky, you think you could like? I know a lot of stuff just happened out here, but you think you could like maybe track something?
Sneaking, acrobatics, unarmed combat. Nah. It's not one of my focuses, but I am a scout, so am I able to see like tracks? I mean, everyone who visited us were flying creatures, so there has to be like only a few set of tracks.
Sure. Yeah, go ahead and do.
Oh yeah, even that guy glided.
Yeah,
he's
not a walker.
Yeah, really. If you're looking for like big tracks from a thing, although this slow, so it might be tiny little feet with like a giant thing, but they'd be really indented into the ground. So that'll definitely be survival. And I think that is reason.
All right.
And unfortunately, though you are a scout, none of your focuses are in.
Right.
Yeah.
14 and 10, so only one success.
One success. One success will certainly, as you said, there aren't many tracks at this point. So yes, you can actually see a set of fresh tracks. They lead into the woods, kind of moving parallel to that sort of purple mist that is also suffusing the woods about 200-300 feet away, kind of 100.
Looking like it's avoiding the purple mist.
Ooh. That, with the roll you made, you cannot tell its full trajectory, but as you kind of go a little of the ways, it seems to be like going somewhat even with it.
Still move quickly in these.
As
Since
you guys
I have the talent of fast stealth, can I lead the group but stay relatively hidden?
You know what? Absolutely, you do have the talent. So the difficulty will go down. So basically, yes, since the difficulty will sort of, I'm going to say you leading would have been a difficulty 2. Just make a stealth roll. That will be survival. No, that'll be move. No, it's because you're going fast. It's not. So yes. So make a move and stealthy are the same for you. It doesn't matter. Those plus daring. 16. 16, and if it's 4 or lower, you get 2 successes.
1 and 7.
1 and 7.
So 3 successes.
3 successes. Do you want to? I'll tell you what. I'd say you should use one so that it just totally applies to these other 2, but you could bank the other.
Yes,
or you could
I'll do
go
that.
incredibly fast and not bank any.
I think speed is of the essence of get in, get out.
Okay.
So yeah,
So, perfect. All right, so
Rick and Morty. Get in, get out, real quick.
Yeah, less time we spend in the forest of things that want to kill us seems better.
So,
The
as you pass
mood on
through,
your-
you guys are being stealthy, so I'm going to mention a few things you notice. First of all, you see a small, sort of like fawn creature, sort of pacing back and forth, kind of as you're hiding behind a thing. This fawn, she is just sort of pacing back and forth, just saying like, yeah, get some candy, and maybe I can just grab one of them and bring them into the woods, and they won't even know that I'm there. They won't even know I'm there at all. And she's putting like dead leaves into her hair and just kind of smiling at her as her sort of
Candy junkie.
moving around. But she eventually, she kind of heads towards where you've come from, and you guys keep walking. The next thing you pass is one of the most frightening things of all. And I'm going to say that your stealth roll did succeed, and you've used extra stuff, so you're going quickly and had your 3 successes, and there's only a what. So as you guys are moving through, you see a faint glow as a unicorn walks through the woods, kind of with this eerie silvery light, and you all kind of pause. The unicorn seems to sense your presence. Sort of its face just turns in your direction, but because of all you've spent and done here, Lucky, you managed to keep everyone quiet, and it can't quite tell where you are, and it just continues on. You know that unicorns, of all the magical creatures, are the biggest dicks.
Fucking terrifying, man.
Yes. And they kill people with their big horns.
What else is it for? Of course it's for skewering.
Yeah.
I heard that if they like lick you, it like leaves a burnt acid trail across wherever they lick.
Yes, I heard that too.
But eventually...
You heard unicorns drink blood to rejuvenate their health and youth and vitality?
Yeah.
That is true. it is true.
As you guys are moving through...
and they like to eat children.
It does seem that you're venturing a little bit closer to the mist as you make your way sort of through here. And it is at this time that you hear kind of like a voice kind of humming softly over by the mists. And as you all kind of like peek around a tree, you see this sort of very sort of kind of statuesque woman. Sort of like light brown skin, long black hair.
And the guitar?
A guitar case is next to her, and she's in the process of kind of like humming to herself while sort of pulling on a cloak, dusting herself off, and she's pulling out a little mask which she's kind of is preparing to put on. You notice her. Something about her seems different than the other beings you've encountered. She has a very different energy. You also notice that the tracks seem to be leading towards a dark stone, kind of like, muddy cave entrance. A bunch of trees are growing atop a little bit ahead of you.
Go to that cave.
Yep.
All right.
To the cave we go.
You guys walk to the cave.
Yo.
As you approach, there's this instant whiff of just like dark, sort of like it's very it smells very kind of like wild and animal-y in here. It's pretty gross.
We did get candy for this mission, right?
You have candy.
Yes.
Danvers
My
did.
pockets are full.
But as you guys are walking to
Oh.
this path, what do you do? You're at the entrance of the cave.
I guess we should announce our presence. What if? I'm going to... Oh, go ahead. Unless you want to stop me from doing the reverse trick-or-treat.
I was gonna sort of make an announcement, but go ahead.
All right. Knock, knock, knock.
So you kind of
Trick or treat.
knock on the stone and say
Knock on the stone.
And say trick or treat. Interesting.
And I'll take the candy from Danvers here.
Okay. That's great. Lucky. Actually, you're not bad at this, but it would be. Okay. You're going to make an agility move roll using acrobatics. If you want to spend momentum, you can.
I probably should spend one.
Okay.
So that's an extra dice
So
roll.
3 d20s. You're rolling acrobatics on move and agility, so it's anything under 4 is 2, but you're looking for under 13 in general. 13 or under.
5, 8, 19. No complications on this one, right?
No, No complications. I would really like
All
there
right.
to be one, but there isn't one.
So 2 successes.
So 2 successes. I have rolled 3 successes, however. So Lucky, you have this like instinct of like the hair on your back moving as you like prepare to kind of like try to jump, but suddenly this massive paw like wraps around you as this huge sort of furry creature with 4 arms and these kind of like very thin legs, 2 kind of huge ram horns on the top of it, and this kind of mouth of just these like tusks and teeth just is sort of atop you. Suddenly
So if he's grabbed me suddenly, now there's candy all over the
and
place.
there's candy sort of spilled, and it's pinning you to the ground as Cotton and Danvers sort of step back doing whatever it is you're doing. But into your face, through your black mask, even with your mouth and nose covered, the stench as this thing opens its mouth and speaks to you, as it says, "How dare you? You come here demanding tribute after denying me mine."
I meant it as if here's treats for you. I didn't mean it as demanding tribute. Here, that's why we're here. See?
Make a
Yeah, we're the treat reconciliation squad.
I believe we owe you 1 treat or more.
Cotton, make a presence. I don't know what this would be.
Presence in legalese.
Yeah, a
Lawyer?
presence in
Artistry?
I know you'd like it. Yeah, go ahead, presence in artistry. That's fine. Part of me thinks it should be subtlety, but
Lawyering is an art.
it's fair. His art is speaking, so I'll allow it.
There we go.
Artistry is more typically like building and stuff.
Okay, well, the good news is even if it was subtlety, it's 2 successes.
2 successes.
So it's 2 successes regardless.
I'm gonna say I should have said it before. Difficult than that probably would have been 2, because this thing's but it's sort of. Very well. You have brought candy. I don't even like candy.
And I
I'm not laughing because
ahead,
I think it's funny, but I think it's
I
terrible.
like to pull out a candy apple out of my pocket, and it's just like, shove it under his nose. This is only candy on the outside. Do you like this?
Is it the flesh of children? Or pixie blood?
It's a
Kind of like a
flesh
freeze
of-
child.
yeah. It's kind of a flesh. It's juicy.
You fulfilled your bond. I'll not slay you now, but when next you venture here, I remember your sense.
Thank you, Mr. Monster.
Don't worry, we'll remember your scent too.
It's sort
I
of
Hard to forget.
I say, yeah.
So, you guys manage to sort of stand and extricate yourselves. Brush the leaves off. It gathers up the candy and just takes it back into its cave.
Let's skedaddle out of here and go home.
As you sort of turn to skedaddle, you see a woman standing in your path. She has a guitar case in one hand. She's wearing a mask that looks kind of like a goblin or gremlin. Kind of like weird little horns, just an interesting face. Instinctively, all 3 of you like this face. 3 of you find it pleasing. All 3 of you feel like it's a face that would have some pretty good ideas. Not that she would, but she's the mask she's chosen. And she kind of just...
Does she already see us?
She's like standing there. She heard all of this and clearly came
Oh,
here.
I suppose, yeah.
And says,
Hello, would you like some candy?
Oh. Well. Yes, actually. That would be nice, but I don't expect you to give it to me for free.
Okay.
If you want to do a deal, can we be escorted out of this place safely,
Oh,
or at least
I'm afraid
semi-safely?
That's not something I can do. The thing is, your candy would be nice, but well, you have nice masks.
Oh.
Could I have one of your masks if I sing you a song?
But you have such a nice mask already.
Oh,
Yes.
thank you. Well, I'll trade you.
Oh.
Or if you have anything else, I wouldn't mind.
Will you have candy?
Just candy? Well, your candy is precious, right?
It is.
It's for the monsters who live in this woods, right?
Not that we're saying anything about that.
I'm curious about this song.
You want a song?
Yeah.
Okay. I'll play you a song, and you'll give me a mask, or you'll give me candy. What do I get? As for my Geisen.
Candy.
Yeah, I think candy is what we have to give for you.
Candy, huh?
We have some really fancy one over here. It's a Dobler Oni.
Yeah, that one's got a nougat.
A new get? As opposed to an old get?
No, I don't get. She gets.
She gets, yeah.
Yeah.
Well, if the masks aren't worth it for a song for you, I suppose a piece of candy is traditional. That's fine. I need the best one you have with you, though. So you brought extra candy, not just to make up for this being, is that correct?
Just in case.
Okay.
That is correct.
All right. She'll say, very well. A song, then.
Highest grade candy.
I believe this Rocher is, I think, maybe the best one we have.
She'll sort of...
Well, apparently there's some
Wrapped in
divine
gold.
candy, the god Ivas. Yeah.
Oh, I think I like that one, actually. Yes. I'll take that.
Okay.
She pulls out her guitar. She begins to play a song that chills you all to your bones, although Danvers today perhaps a little less than it would have before. She sings, I put a spell on you because you're mine. I can't stand the things that you do. No, I ain't lying. No, I don't care if you don't want me, because I'm yours anyhow. I am yours. I love you. I love you, I put a spell on you, Lord, because you're mine. I can't stand the things that you do when you're fooling around. I don't care if you don't want me, because I'm yours, anyhow.
This song only reminds me of Hocus Pocus, the movie.
She basically sort of, she plays this kind of like flamenco version of this song on her Spanish guitar. Nylon string classical guitar. At the end of it, she extends a hand. And you can tell for the first time that she has like another bag on her back. And hanging from her waist, kind of, it had almost been hidden within her cloak, but you see this, it's weird. It almost looks like a spongy turnip. And that somebody like carved like a baby face with little dimples. And there's purple fire inside of it. And she says,
All right, here's the divine candy.
you give her divine.
Put it into her hand.
You know? Never mind. Yeah, fine.
All right. Shall we make it back to Oyster Camp?
Yeah, it's probably about time. Oh, I feel like we've been a little rude since you've been nice and sang us a terrifying song. My name's Cotton. What are you called?
Oh. People call me different things. You can call me La Trovadora.
The Troubadoura?
See.
Alright.
Alright.
She packs up her
Have fun.
guitar. And then she does something that none of you have ever seen anyone do. She turns. She says, "Adios, niños." And then she walks right through the purple mist. All of you know that to be a death sentence, but she just keeps walking, and you hear her humming that song as she goes. I put a spell on you, and now you're mine. And you hear her voice continuing on, long past the time that any creature should have sort of been overtaken by exhaustion in those mists.
Well, like, man, no one's gonna believe this story.
We're probably going crazy. That can't have happened. Let's go.
Well, as we're walking back, I have two things I want to just sort of ask about you all. One, Danvers, I know you won't believe me when I tell you this, but it's the truth. My, hand of the princesses. That when you start to read from the book to protect us all, I swear I saw the silhouette of Boderick, one of the bikini girls, whispering into your ear.
It is kind of you to say it, but I know it is a lie. I am no good anymore. I sinned. I probably should walk off into the purple mist myself. To join the other monsters and magical things.
As you're sort of saying that, a voice speaks from the woods.
No, dearie. Not a mist. Not even we of the Forest of Death can survive in such a place as that.
As you all look over, and at this point you are nearing the edge. You can almost see the outpost in the distance. But you look over and kind of like, it's that sort of like cat eyes in the darkness, kind of like creepy reflection. There is this like green-skinned, wizened woman with a long nose and a wart who's kind of peeking around a corner.
But I sense a touch of magic upon you, my dear. Come with me. I'll teach you things. Bring your friends.
I scream and turn around and run towards the outpost.
You run back to the outpost.
Like screaming the whole way, like ah!
As she goes, she says,
Trick or treat.
and she turns away, carrying all the candy she just collected from the outpost. And Lucky and Cotton, I assume you run after her?
Yeah.
I just sort of, as we were making our way, I just said, "Hey, Lucky, I'm just wondering, you curious?" And I like pull out 2 pieces of candy from my pocket. I never actually tried it before. I was sort of making that up earlier. I know you couldn't tell.
Right. Well, my luck will never run out, right? Might as well try it. I'll take one.
I'm gonna eat a piece of candy.
Okay.
Is that really terrible?
Well, it is because you're doing it in the dark woods where magic exists. So
I thought we already walked
Danvers,
out at this time.
They were running after me, so...
Yeah.
Well, if you're
We already
running,
made-
you can't be eating candy.
Well,
Oh.
they stopped somewhere halfway there, I guess. Right?
Okay.
I thought we were already out.
In no man's land?
Oh, I wasn't planning.
Sure. If you stop in if you make it out of the woods and you stop in no man's land,
Sure.
fair enough. So Danvers, you run screaming back.
I assume I don't even stop at the gate. I just like
No, you
bump with this.
you run like straight to the door or whatever. But the boys stop in no man's land and they have a piece of candy. And both of you taste this candy for the first time, and it is exquisitely delicious.
I see why they want this as tribute, huh?
Yeah,
But
pretty good.
you know what? Both of you make an insight and lore roll.
Ooh,
All right.
only 11 for me. Just 2d20?
Just 2d20. The usual.
17 and 10, but one success.
11 and 19, one success.
You both have a sense of that it's not so much that it's good. The monsters probably don't like it. But it's perfect for kids like you. This is the most precious thing almost. It's designed for your taste buds, and instead of eating it, you give it away. You're tormented by it being there. You have this sense of, oh, the point. You have this kind of like dark realization of like the point is that we're giving up something we treasure to these things we hate for some reason that is long past our ken. And as you both stand there chewing the candy, Danvers already as you guys stand there chewing the candy, Danvers behind you as you near the gates, you hear these strange like whipping noises. And as you sort of pound on the door and cast a glance back, you see the roots of the trees beginning to settle into the ground once again, the forest seeming still, and no sign of Lucky or Cotton.
Ah, man.
And that is where we're on tonight's session.
That is very, how to describe it? Goosebumps?
Well, we couldn't let me survive a single episode of Blood from a Stone.
No. I mean,
I'm probably fine.
You
Maybe my
guys-
luck will never run out.
you guys really shouldn't eat the candy. That's the whole deal. So with that, but at least the magic. Wow,
At least the
things got-
mystery is revealed.
I'm
So was that.
upset that I survived.
The one that
Um,
did the heresy is the one that survived.
Yeah. That's although in a lot of ways it's the one who did the evil thing is like it's like that's a horrible final image of like I'm alive and they're gone, and with that Blood from a Stone, that is chapter 68. La Trovadora returns. I wonder how many of these she'll be in. So thanks, players. There was an unexpected horror surge there, which I did design this one to be pretty simple. It was literally my plan for this was they hand out Halloween candy. Literally what I planned. Instead, we got an attack. We got magic being cast. We got a trip into the dark woods. We got La Trovadora. You see her going into the mist, and we got a horrible, ironic ending. So everything I'm ever after in these games. Well, thank you all so much. I want to say a special thanks to the players. I know it's always weird to play a system you've never played before. What do you think of this 2d20 thing?
It's all right.
It's all right.
I think mostly it makes sense to my brain just because we have been playing so much of the D100 system, and something about like rolling under just makes it click pretty easily for me.
The roll under, sure. Oh, unrelated to this question, what do you think, Ka?
It's fine, but we haven't had any granularity to really
And I
hit something that would really annoy me.
I should have sent you, like, I can share with you, like there's like the core rule book of this Star Trek thing if you ever want to look through it. I don't think it's organized very well, but it's very you kind of they have some interesting ways to make these rules go. And once you start getting all the talents and all these things in it, it can be very cool. One thing I'll tell you though, Pierce, about like roll under systems, I've been reading a lot about various systems. I think both RuneQuest and a couple other ones like RuneQuest is based on the like the Call of Cthulhu. It was another Chaosium book, so it's using that. But they have a different mechanic, which is they call it like the blackjack mechanic, where you want to roll under but as high as possible. So in other words, if your score is 85, you want to roll an 84. You want to roll anything under 85, but what you really want to do is an 84 or an 85 exactly, because in any compared thing, you're not comparing degrees of success, you're comparing how close to your number you can get.
Interesting.
Yeah. So this kind of it's like the blackjack, where it's like under but highest is kind of a clever and interesting thing. Well, thank you everybody. Thank you so much for watching this. This is night 2 of 7, so plenty more Blood from a Stone craziness going on as we carry on. Tomorrow night tomorrow night we will be back with chapter 69 in Voluptua.
Nice.
And I'm sure it will be as stupid as everyone thinks it will be.
I just assume the chat will not be anything but nice emojis for the entire 2.5 hours.
Spam nice. So that is tomorrow night at 7:30. On Friday night at 7:30, chapter 70 of Blood from a Stone is from Merkshire, and it's both a part of the Week of Blood and also the continuation of the insane ghost stuff that's been going on in Berkshire, which last week elevated even further. I was real into it. On Saturday, a momentous thing. We are going back to Paradise for the first time in over a year. The OG setting, so that's going to be really fun. That'll be at 1 p.m. On Sunday, back at 7:30, we will be going to the Fractured Factory, which we actually got a preview of last night.
Oh, cool.
Sort of surprisingly, when a Dreadstorm, we had a horror surge tonight. Dreadstorm last night in where the Fractured Factory. Pierce, you missed out on. We had one character crushed by rocks because they were dislodged with TNT. Then we had another character killed by an anvil, and then other characters barely avoided being hit by the falling pianos before the last one was killed by a cannonball. From a giant cannon with a fuse. And then, of course, one of them died from his soul getting sucked into a deep Neve lantern, but that wasn't tune related. So anyway, it was wonderful. Yes, that was in chapter 67 last night. So that is on Sunday. We're at the Fractured Factory at 7:30, and then Monday, this all comes to a wild ending in the Surfing Domain. 7:30 p.m. on Monday will be our 7th, and that also happens to be Halloween. So with all of that in mind, I want to say thanks again to everyone who watched, everyone who played. If you like what we do here, please follow our channel or subscribe if you are able. You do get a free one with your Amazon Prime if you link your accounts and all that good stuff. So use it here or somewhere, but use it. Speaking of which, I haven't done mine this month. Better do that.
We should.
I just did mine.
Let's see what else. Go to our Discord. We do cool stuff on Discord. Links right there in chat. We talk about things. We post recaps. People post promos of things they're doing sometimes.
Unsubscribe from our TikTok. That's what we need, right? Because
She doesn't think that's funny. She doesn't think that's a funny joke, so I'm not saying that anymore. Lauren wanted to stick to 1,000 followers on TikTok, and we did. And then I started saying no one else subscribe. Unsubscribe because we're at 1,000. We don't want that, and she was not amused by that at all. But follow our Instagram is at Long Lost Lore RPG. It's the only one we couldn't get Long Lost Lore on. So yeah, check that out. So yes, that's fun stuff. Thank you again so much to my players for jumping into this craziness. I super appreciate it. Until next time, have a dreadful night.
It's rude.
Ooh.
Ooh, dread is like
No,
scary
but
night.
asking someone to have a terrible night, that's just rude.
dreadful. Ooh.